Thank you for clicking the thumbnail of this video. In this video, we are going to talk about Cardano and try to explain it in simple plain English. As part of this video, we'll talk about the origins of Cardano, the 3 generations of blockchain as per the founder of Cardano and co-founder of Ethereum, Charles Haskinson. We will talk about the philosophy behind the making of Cardano. We will also talk about, in brief, the programming languages that are used in the making of Cardano. We will end this video by talking about the roadmap of Cardano and how much of this has been achieved by Cardano team so far. So stay tuned with us, lots of interesting things and facts coming your way. If you're looking for crisp and curly crypto information today, then you have hit the right spot. Digital currencies are generating a lot of excitement. We bring you the reasons for that excitement. We bring you the crypto latest information from around the world. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with origins of Cardano. Now I think a lot of people know about Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency of the world, and has been gaining a lot of popularity in the recent past. Well, Cardano was conceptualized by Charles Haskinson, who happens to be one of the co-founders of Ethereum. I'm sure this will light up your brain, but hold your horses while you figure even more interesting things about Cardano in the later part of this video. While Ethereum does an admirable job as a smart contract platform, according to Haskinson, it is a second generation blockchain and needed evolution. There are 3 organizations which work full-time to develop and take care of Cardano. The Cardano Foundation, IOHK, Emurgo. The Cardano Foundation is a not-for-profit organization which is the custodial of Cardano. Much of IOHK's funding comes from a 5-year contract with Emurgo. With that out of the way, let's talk about the 3 generations of blockchain as per Charles Haskinson, who is the co-founder of Ethereum and the founder of Cardano. According to Charles Haskinson, we have 3 generations of blockchain. Generation 1, Bitcoin and money transfer. Bitcoin was created because everyone was asking the same questions. Will it be possible to create a form of money which can be transferred between 2 people without any middleman? To answer this question, Satoshi Nakamoto came forward with his solution, and Bitcoin was born out of his intelligence. Generation 2, Ethereum and smart contracts. Smart contracts help you exchange money, property, shares, or anything of value in a transparent, conflict-free way, which avoiding the services of a middleman. Vitalik Buterin's Ethereum is easily the stalwart of this generation, but there was a problem. The problem was that these generations of blockchain did not really have good provisions for scalability. Now, as per Charles, Generation 3 is Cardano. The 3 elements that Cardano wants to solve are scalability, interoperability, and sustainability. Charles have figured out these objectives for Cardano based on the so many altcoins that are out there, as well as the Generation 1 and Generation 2 of the blockchains. Cardano is unique in the sense that it is built on scientific philosophy and peer-reviewed academic research. All the engineering that goes into it has the ultimate goal of being high assurance code. Let's talk about the philosophy behind the making of Cardano. The Cardano team wants to adhere to a set of principles and philosophies. They did not set out with a proper roadmap or a white paper. So now that's an interesting thing. They started out without a white paper, which is generally not the case with a lot of cryptocurrencies, including some of the meme coins, which also started out with a white paper. Instead, Cardano focused on embracing a collection of design principles, engineering best practices, and avenues for exploration. Some of the philosophies that we pulled from the official website of Cardano are as follows: separation of accounting and computation into different layers, explore the social elements of commerce, find a healthy middle ground for regulators to interact with commerce without compromising some core principles inherited from Bitcoin. Now, we would highly recommend, if you want to explore further, you can head to the official website of Cardano after finishing this video. Now let's talk about in detail 3 problems that Cardano is trying to solve. The first one is scalability. When people say scalability, they invariably think of transactions processed per second or throughput. However, according to Haskinson, that's just one part of the problem. Total scalability is a 3-headed hydra, so to speak. One needs to take care of 3 separate elements. The first one is the throughput, which is the obvious one. The second one is the network, and the third one is data scaling. Now let's talk a little bit about throughput. Many articles have been written on the lack of throughput in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin manages 7 transactions per second and Ethereum manages 15 to 20. This is absolutely not acceptable for a financial system. In one of our earlier videos where we mentioned the transaction processing speed of Visa, which is much higher than any of these 2 cryptocurrencies. Now Cardano hopes to solve this problem with their consensus mechanism called Ouroboros. It is a provably secure proof of stake algorithm. What's a proof of stake algorithm, you may ask? Well, proof of stake will make the entire mining process virtual and replace miners with validators. Fun question: there is another cryptocurrency that uses validators instead of miners, and we have talked about this in one of our earlier videos. Let us know in the comments which cryptocurrency is that. The validators will have to look up some of their coins as stake. After that, they will start validating the blocks, meaning when they discover a block which they think can be added to the chain, they will validate it by placing a bet on it. If the block gets appended, then the validators will get a reward proportionate to their bets. Now the second aspect of scalability is the network. So how does network factor into scalability? Simple: bandwidth. In homogeneous network topology, every node in the network relays every message. Skype is an example of such a network where most of the value is taken from a single class of users who are interested in placing a phone call. Now, in a decentralized network, that can become impractical for scaling up. All the nodes may not have the resources required to relay the information in an effective manner. To solve this issue, Cardano is looking at a new type of technology called RINA, R-I-N-A, Recursive Inter-Network Architecture, created by John Day. Cardano planned to implement this in part by 2018 and completely by 2019. And the third aspect of scalability is data scaling. We all know that blockchain runs because it comprises of nodes. Now each node is a user who stores a copy of the blockchain in their system. I guess you know where the problem is, right? I think a lot of us in the news as well as a lot of our blogs have been talking about this. Well, as the blockchain gets bulkier, it will demand more space. And that is unreasonable for a normal user with a normal computer. Cardano's aim here is to use all this information to compress the data that the users need to consume without compromising on security or the assurances that their transactions have gone through properly. Research on this has started in the University of Edinburgh. This is aligning to the objective of and the philosophy of Cardano, where every new improvement that is coming to the Cardano blockchain is peer reviewed and comes from a academic research background. Now let's move on and talk about the second pillar of Cardano, which is interoperability. We have seen how scalability side of Cardano works. We may now talk about interoperability. The problem lies in the fact that it is extremely difficult for these individual entities to communicate with one another. For example, it is tough for Bitcoin to know what is going on in Ethereum and vice versa. This becomes doubly difficult when banks try to communicate with cryptos. This is why the crypto exchanges, which provide a portal between cryptos and banks, become so powerful and important. However, there in itself lies a problem. Exchanges are not decentralized entity and are extremely vulnerable. They can get hacked, they can black out for long periods of system upgrade. This is basically what happened to Binance recently. So how does Cardano wants to solve this problem? Well, Cardano's vision is to create an internet of blockchains. Imagine an ecosystem where Bitcoin can flow into Ethereum and Ripple can seamlessly flow into Litecoin without the need to go through centralized exchanges. This is why cross-chain transfers are something that Cardano wants to implement without any middlemen. One way that Cardano wants to do this is by implementing sidechains. Sidechains is not a new concept. We already have a few cryptocurrencies who are working on the similar concept. One of them will be EOS. Let us know in the comments if you want us to make a video talking more about the sidechains. For now, we'll move on to the next pillar of Cardano, which is sustainability. According to Haskinson, this is hands down the toughest one to solve. It basically means how is Cardano planning to pay for its future development and growth. Something different and more sustainable needs to be done. In this sense, Cardano is planning to take inspiration from Dash and create a treasury. Cardano's coding is done in Haskell while their smart contracts are coded in Plutus. Now here comes the challenge for Cardano because there are not a lot of developers for Haskell or Plutus. But this also aligns with Cardano's philosophy of having a team that provides a high assurance code. So all's well in the Cardano world. Let's talk a little bit about Cardano ICO initial coin offering. Cardano ICO raised approximately $62 million. Cardano's token is named ADA after Ada Lovelace, a 19th century mathematician recognized as the first computer programmer and daughter of the poet Lord Byron. Cardano's first major release is named Byron, which went live on September 29, 2017, which saw the launch of Cardano mainnet. Let's also talk about the roadmap of Cardano. According to the roadmap, Cardano will be released in 5 stages. We are at the Goguan phase at the moment, and the plan for release of Goguan phase is August. Let's go one by one. So first is Byron, which was the initial mainnet launch. Byron enables users to trade and transfer ADA. The Cardano mainnet was also launched. The second phase is Shelly, ensures that the tech is in place for it to become a fully decentralized and autonomous system. The third phase is Goguan phase, which will see the integration of smart contracts. This is the phase which puts Cardano in direct competition with Ethereum. The fourth phase is BullSh, centered around performance improvements. The fifth and the final phase is IOHK, will add a treasury system and governance. This is from the inspiration that Cardano team have received from the Dash cryptocurrency, and this is what differentiates Cardano from Ethereum to a very, very large extent. You may also say that Cardano is an Ethereum killer. Now let's try to end this video by talking about a few questions that you will have in your mind. Why ADA should be on your watch list? Should you invest in ADA? What are the pros of Cardano? And why do you think Cardano is an Ethereum killer? Well, let's answer all of those questions with the following few points. Well, first things first, Cardano is energy efficient. A big advantage of Cardano is that it's an eco-friendly crypto. For an easy comparison, here's how much energy Cardano, Bitcoin and Ethereum are estimated to use per year. Cardano 6 gigawatt hours, Bitcoin 130 terawatt hours, Ethereum 50 terawatt hours. Keep in mind that 1 terawatt is equal to 1000 gigawatts. Put another way, Bitcoin uses about as much energy as Argentina, which has about 45 million people. Cardano uses about as much as 600 US homes. Second point, it can handle large numbers of transactions. Scalability has been a problem for the biggest of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin processes about 5 transactions per second and Ethereum processes about 15. In tests, Cardano has processed 257 transactions per second, and it's also planning to add another layer called Hydra to its blockchain. With Hydra, it could potentially process 1 million transactions per second. One of the special things about Cardano is that its development process is peer-reviewed. The last point, cryptocurrencies can either have a fixed or unlimited supply. Cardano is the same way. It has a maximum supply of 45 billion ADA, and there are currently about 32 billion ADA in circulation. Now, the reason that fixed supply is attractive in finance is because you cannot print more Cardano than what is the maximum supply. There's just no way at all to do it. Now with that, we'll be ending our video. Let us know in the comments, how did you find this video? Were we able to answer your questions about Cardano? And let us know in the comments if you have any other questions about Cardano. Like, share and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.